we need to write the parametric curve for a line, and it says a line. So I want to remind you guys, when it says line, that means it's going to be a linear equation. Okay? So there's clues here that they give you to kind of let you know what you need to do. Okay? And so what we need, there's lots of ways that you could write this, but let's start with this. So it says line that goes through the point 5, comma 2 and 8, comma negative 2. So what you could write is you could start with x is equal to, and we're going to just arbitrarily choose the first x term, right? And then we're going to say plus a times t. Now the reason we're putting a times t is because it's a line, it's linear. And linear functions have a constant rate of change. That means that x should have a constant rate of change with respect to t. Similarly, the slope y, because it's a line, has a constant rate of change. So I'm going to choose, so think of this as like x sub 1, y sub 1. I'm going to choose 2 plus b times t. So whenever you see the word line, you're going to arbitrarily choose these things here. Okay? Does that make sense? Now, we're going to consider that the first point occurs when t equals 0. And if that occurs when t equals 0, when I plug in 0 for t, that does give me x equals 5. When I plug in 0 for t, that does give me y equals 2. So far, we're good to go because every statement is valid.
I remember doing this, and then the other one is 1.
Yeah, and then here we're going to say t equals 1. So now on the next one, if t equals 1, then my x value should be 8 equals 5 plus a times 1, right? Because here we're going to say that t equals 1. And then we do the same thing with the y. I'm going to say negative 2 is equal to 2 plus b times 1. Well, if I take this and I subtract 5 from both sides, what I end up with is that 3 is equal to a. And if I do the same thing over here, what I end up with, I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides, so I end up with negative 4 is equal to b. So now I'm going to take this is the final answer here in green. If I take this equation and I plug in a and b, I get x is equal to 5 plus 3 times t, and then I get x is, or not x, y, that's a y, is equal to 2 plus negative 4 times t. And that should be it, right? So this is our final answer. Now let's see. Let's fire it up. 5 plus 3t, negative 4 plus 2. They've written it a little differently. Correct. Good job. Is that any questions on that? Does that make sense?